Okay, so again, thank you for coming to today's session. And today's session then is going to focus on clarity of communications. And again, within the context of this class, then we want to focus on delivering and constructing clear data visualizations. So, what are then some tips here to become an effective communicator? Understand that there are many different forms of communication today. So doing a class like this on Zoom or Blackboard wasn't inconceivable to me even 5 years ago. But now they're commonplace, and effective communication is going to be critical. So honesty, you need to be a good public speaker. Like anything else, listening is a critical part of the communication process, and responsiveness impacts reputation. So I think you know all of these, but never hurts to repeat these. So engineers then and data scientists need to be able to communicate thoughts, ideas, and plans to many other specialists in different fields. So engineers and data scientists work in teams with people from different backgrounds. Therefore, it is necessary to have a variety of communication skills, especially for the data scientists and the data engineers. They need to construct visuals that communicate effectively to a wide range of people. Much easier said than done. Much easier said than done. You can go out there and have the best of intentions, but that effective communications is difficult. You have to understand your audience. You have to listen. So, what are then some of the challenges that are faced by data engineers? Two main types: presentation to team members and others with engineering, data science backgrounds, and presentations to people outside the field. And again, those are difficult. But understand that those people who aren't data engineers or who aren't data scientists, they could be the decision makers. So obviously, communication to them is very important. The data engineer typically aims to, quote, sell the project, or key concepts. Number two, provide data engineering input for high-level presentations by senior project managements to clients, investors, authorities, etc. So the data analytics and the data engineers have an important job, and they need to understand that there's a real wide range of audiences that they need to deal with. So, from my own personal story, one time where basically my job was purely statistical work, oh, I only had to deal with maybe 4 or 5 people who understood what I was doing. Never to any outsiders. I was young at that time and moving up. So I had to focus on my job. My manager communicated to those outside of the field. But in my case, no. However, like anything else, once I started moving up, I had to communicate to a wide variety of people. And there are certain challenges to doing so. Some with tremendous technical knowledge and some with very little technical knowledge whatsoever, a wide range. And my situation isn't unusual. You will probably be faced with that same situation. So what are some of the tasks then of these data engineers or these development operations engineers? You can see all the different aspects, and a lot of this seems to be computer administration, but focusing here on the left side, the second bubble from the top, deploy visualization. So visualization nowadays is a key element to making effective presentations. Visualization isn't easy, but like anything else, it's a skill that you can develop. And that's the focus of this class, obviously, for you to construct better data visualizations, for your next visualization to be better than the one that you have just done, and to strive for continuous improvement. That brings up the question then, what is data visualization? What is data visualization? It's one thing to talk about it, but it's more important to understand what it is, especially if you're the data engineer, you're the data scientist that has to construct the visualization. What are you doing? Who's your target audience? What is it that you want to communicate? People across the organization reach out to me with problems, and I bring solutions to them through data and visualizations. So this was a famous data engineer or data scientist talking, and this was the main message. Everything you see here in the yellow box, that was the main message that he was trying to deliver. So data visualization is the process of communicating complex information with simple graphics and charts. Data visualization has the power to tell data-driven stories while allowing people to see patterns and relationships found in data. The increased popularity of big data and data analysis projects have made visualizations much more important than ever. Companies are using machine learning to gather massive amounts of data that can be difficult and slow to sort through, comprehend, and explain. Data visualization offers a means to speed up and present information to business owners and stakeholders in ways they can understand. And when we talk about stakeholders, that's a wide range of individuals. They could be managers, workers, clients, decision makers. Data visualization has come a long way in making big data more accessible to the whole range of stakeholders. Like anything else, it's something that we can all improve on. It's something that we can all improve on. But it takes some work. It takes some work in an understanding of what you're going to do. So I'm not sure what this graph is, but when I was looking at examples of effective data visualizations, this one was brought up. So I'm not sure what it is, but you can see then how it's going through and using two of the techniques that we had introduced when we were talking about the dashboards, a flow chart, so you can see a flow chart in this area here, and then a bubble chart on the left side. So I'm not sure if it's flowing from left to right or right to left, but this was presented as an excellent example of data visualizations. I just apologize that I can't give you a better explanation of what this graph is trying to communicate. Data visualization is one of the steps of the data science process, which states that after data has been collected, processed, and modeled, it must be visualized for conclusions to be made. Data visualization is also an element of the broader data presentation architecture discipline, which aims to identify, locate, manipulate, format, and deliver data in the most efficient way possible. So I think we had something like this a couple weeks ago, where these are common graphs that are used when a data visualization is being constructed. Now, there are many more than this, and as you can see in this chart is a combination of a lot of these charts that are being shown here. And a lot of these charts are informative as a standalone, but when used properly and used in combination with other charts, really make for an effective presentation. So what combination always works? I don't think there's a true answer for that, but it's going to take a little trial and error for you to construct a data visualization that is complete, that is informative, and that is concise, without forgetting the fact that it has to be professional as well. Data visualization is the practice of transforming or translating information into a visual context, such as a map or a graph, to make data easier for the human brain to understand and pull insights from. Visualization is central to advanced analytics for similar reasons. When a data scientist is writing advanced predictive analytics or machine learning algorithms, it becomes important to visualize the outputs, to monitor results, and ensure that models are performing as intended. This is because visualizations of complex algorithms are generally easier to interpret than numerical outputs. The human mind is very receptive to visual information. That's why data visualization is a powerful tool for communication. Now, going to back to this sentence here. Okay, the last sentence in this paragraph. Okay, this is because visualizations of complex algorithms are generally easier to interpret than numerical outputs. I think I had mentioned that given my background in training, personally, I'd rather see the numerical outputs. Boy, but that is changing. That is changing. For someone who has had decades of interpreting numerical outputs, and where data visualization is a fairly new field, I really now appreciate the power of a good data visualization. And I would say that any statistician nowadays, it just wasn't available previously. It just wasn't available in the old days. But because it is now, it is a tool that is used much more often and very effectively. You get the same insights from an effective data visualization than you do with a well-constructed statistical table. Okay? With my vote nowadays, and this has changed over time, I'll always take a good data visualization over a well-constructed statistical table nowadays, especially if the data visualization is done well. Okay? Graphs and charts let you explore and learn about the structure of the information you collect. Good data visualizations also make it easier to communicate your ideas and findings to other people. So I should have, when I was constructing this presentation, I should have brought this up, but we all know that when you're dealing with the normal distribution, you know what it means for the distribution to be skewed left or to be skewed right. Now, they have calculations that you can do, and given the certain figure that's given to you, if you understand that those numbers, it will tell you the skewness of your data. It will tell you the kurtosis of your data. But realistically, a graph conveys that information much better than the statistics for skewness and kurtosis. And effective data visualizations aren't just limited to the skewness and kurtosis. It happens across the whole field of data science and statistics. So this is a good graph here. So I can get it all in. So when you have data visualizations here, really you're looking at 4 leaves here. And this leaf at the bottom is, I gotta make this, let me make this a little bit smaller. But you have this bubble diagram here, basically 4 leaves. And you see it has kind of the elements of a Venn diagram where you see the intersection between, the 4 basic areas of data visualization: reliability, solution, virality, and again, solution based off design. You see where the intersections occur. Obviously, where do you want to be? Right in the middle, where all of your leaves intersect. That's a good infographic. Okay, so when you're in the process of constructing your data visualization, think about this 4-leaf pattern. Think about this 4-leaf pattern and determine how you're going to construct a data visualization that's an intersection of all 4 elements. So obviously, easier said than done, but it's something that you want to, it's a goal that you want to achieve every single time you construct a data visualization. For every data visualization that you construct, always think about this graph: data, story, shareability, and design. How do you construct a data visualization that captures all of these at the same time? If you can effectively do that, you're going to construct a very informative data visualization. So data visualization is a graphical representation of quantitative information and data by using visual elements like graphs, charts, and maps. And when we talk about maps, I should have maybe, I should expand that last sentence. I should say geospatial maps to be consistent with our lecture from last time on geospatial maps. Big data visualizations, looks like I have a typo here. Big data visualization uses more complex representations, such as heat maps and fever charts. Fever charts are the same, basically, as a heat map. Big data visualizations require powerful computer systems to collect raw data, process it, and turn it into graphical representations that humans can use to quickly draw insights. Let me correct this while I'm here. Okay, so big data visualizations uses more complex representations such as heat maps and fever charts. I apologize for the typo there. Data visualizations convert large and small data sets into visuals, which is easy to understand and process for humans. I should maybe highlight this, because that is really the essence of data visualizations. Data visualization is important because of the processing of information in human brains. Using graphs and charts to visualize a large amount of the complex data sets is more comfortable in comparison to studying. It looks like I got this chopped off here. Let me change this while I'm here. Oh, I guess I didn't make this. I'm sorry. Let me make this chart a little bit bigger. Okay, so let me start again. I'm sorry. Data visualization is important because of the processing of information in human brains. Using graphs and charts to visualize a large amount of the complex data sets is more comfortable in comparison to studying the spreadsheets and report. Let me do one, correcting a typo on the fly here, I'm sorry. Okay, so the insights provided by big data visualizations will only be as accurate as the information being visualized. Therefore, it's essential to have people and processes in place to govern and control the quality of corporate data, metadata, and data sources. Bottom line, just because you have the data doesn't mean that your data is good. The filtering process is still necessary. And the filtering process is really dependent on the type of business that you're in. So, for example, for me, being in the accounting and finance area, what is one way to make sure that the data is reliable? You have financial audits, you have CPA firms, third parties going out there and looking at your data. I'm sure for every business, they have a similar process of ensuring that the data is reliable. So the purpose then of this presentation and this lecture is to construct data-driven documents. So we have a fancy one here that I don't think conveys any type of important information. However, this is the type of document that is expected. These are data-driven documents. The data tell you what the documents should be. Big data has been increasing in volume, becoming ever bigger data. As a result, the massive amount of data is slow to sort through, comprehend, and especially to explain. If you can pull outcomes from disparate sources, it isn't easy to interpret their numerical outputs. In other words, you're getting data not from the same place, but it's coming from different sources. So that could be potentially dangerous. That could be potentially dangerous. So you need to understand what the dangers are, what you need to look out for. However, data visualization is an easy and quick way to convey concepts visually. You can experiment with different outlines by making a slight adjustment. Useful data visualizations consist of complex ideas communicated with clarity, precision, and efficiency. So you see here then that we have a dashboard that I stole from somewhere that uses many of the graphics that we had discussed earlier in this class. So I'm not sure what this is a dashboard of, but it's a nice looking dashboard. Put some spaces here. Effective data visualizations are created by communication, data science, and design collide. Design collide is when you have different designers from different areas working together to, again, intersect their ideas. Data visualizations done effectively provide key insights into complicated data sets into meaningful and natural conclusions. I gotta change, I'm sorry. Let me do this. So effective data communication visualizations are created by communications, data science, and design collide. Data visualizations done effectively provide key insights into complicated data sets into meaningful and natural communications. In the world of big data, the data visualization tools and technologies are required to analyze vast amounts of data. Okay? So what is the purpose then of data visualizations? You need a way to quickly pivot your company's efforts in response to world and customer evolving expectations. You also need a way to make these quick business decisions using big data. By visualizing your data, you can accelerate information presentation, share new insights, and encourage data-driven decision-making quickly and confidently. You know, what's the point of this part here? What's the point of that? In the old days, many times, decisions were made by using intuition, your gut feel, so on and so forth. Now, of course, those managers with that rare insight, they had the correct intuition. But with a much more complicated set of decision variables, the intuition could lead to non-optimized decisions. Nowadays, when you have that much data, you need to make a data-driven decision, not a gut feel. You need to make a data-driven decision, not a gut feel. So again, here is a chart. Here is a dashboard utilizing a lot of the tools that we had introduced in our previous classes in this course. Hopefully, this is delivering information quickly and accurately. Again, it looks like someone just made this up to be fancy, but you can see then that it shows a range of different graph tools to use to construct your dashboards. Okay, so what are some of the benefits of data visualization? Number one, you see the big picture. Uncover accurate insights and see patterns within complex data without relying on a data scientist. Artificial intelligence assistants can also surface the patterns in data that have not emerged before. So the example that I give, I should have shown a picture of this. I was thinking about doing it. I don't know why I didn't do it. But I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Nazca lines. And Nazca lines are these big pictures. I think they're in South America or something, Peru or something. And if you're standing on the ground, they just look like lines scratched into the ground. But if you get real high, then you could see, what is it? It's a picture of a spider. I think one is a picture of a hummingbird. But you gotta be like 100 and 200 feet high. Okay, and there's no mountains in that area too. So who are they drawing those pictures for, right? Anyways, but that's what I'm trying to say. If you're just in a situation where you're on the ground, those lines have no meaning. But when you step far away back, you see the big picture. Think of the Nazca lines. Number two, the second benefit of data visualizations. Present meaningful data. Share insights with others in an easy to understand form. For example, artificial intelligence can assist in dashboard creation or surface a visualization recommendation to tell your story best. The third benefit of data visualization is democratize your data. So the data works for everyone, not just a small group of statisticians. But you create a data visualization that everyone can relate to. Provide one source of truth for your entire organization while leveraging security and governance features to help reduce human error when uploading and manually cleaning your data. Finally, has to come down to this: make better decisions. With integrated AI capabilities, understand your next steps and spend less time performing data analysis through augmented decision making. So again, the data visualization is the augmented decision making. You're making decisions, and they could be intuitive decisions, but now it's based off a big data foundation that is the source of your decision making. So again, here's another graph that I thought was pretty neat that shows all kind of different graphs to use in the dashboard. So right here, we see a flow map. Right here, a dot map. Okay, I don't know what these are. This is another flow map. Here's a geospatial map. Here's one where they're showing skewness and kurtosis. Everyone can understand these types of graphs from the visuals. Again, what if you were just given a table of numbers for all of these graphs? Yeah, it would be almost incomprehensible. But a data visualization conveys that information quickly and efficiently. It has become crucial not only to analyze data, but to act on it also. When you choose the correct data visualization to highlight the most important aspects of your data, you can illuminate new insights and communicate them more persuasively. When you choose the right visualization to highlight the most important aspects of your data, you can illuminate new insights and communicate them more persuasively. I think I said that twice. That can result in smarter actions and bigger outcomes for your business. Okay. So here's another flow map, okay, showing the flow from left to right. Okay. Why we love data visualizations: the powerful communication format, and generally graphs or dashboards. A strong programming community. It's very beginner friendly, and data visualization answers questions with data. So again, here I chose another nice looking graph, okay, a combination of a bar chart and a line chart. I think the line chart is showing the trend within this data. But an effective data visualization. Why use data visualization? To make it easier to understand, and it looks like I have a typo here. I went through this thing 10 times. Still. make it easier to understand and remember, to discover unknown facts, outliers, and trends, to visualize relationships and patterns quickly, to ask better questions and make better decisions, to competitively analyze, and to improve insights. Make this change quickly here. Okay, so here's kind of a neat chart. I'm not a wine drinker at all, but here's a data visualization that gives you a decision tool on what type of wine you should serve with different types of food. And so on this, again, I'm not a wine drinker, so I can't attest to the accuracy at all. But you can see how this is pretty important. This is pretty important, especially for those who have a taste in expensive cuisine coupled with wine. And so what is the importance of data visualization? It can identify areas that need improvement or modifications, can clarify which factors influence customer behavior. It helps you to understand which products to place where, geospatial, and it can predict sales volume. So those are some of the important elements of data visualization. Okay. Another nice graph that I stole from someone, another dashboard that I stole from somewhere, utilizing the different types of graphics. To craft an effective data visualization, you need to start with clean data. That's important. That is well sourced and complete. After the data is ready to visualize, you need to pick the right chart. After you have decided the chart type, you need to design and customize your visualization to your liking. Simplicity is essential. You don't want to add any elements that distract from the data. What makes for great data visualization? Determine what kind of information you want to communicate to choose an appropriate technique for presenting your data. Take into account the stakeholder needs as well. Understand the data you're going to visualize, including its size, cardinality, and consider honestly the data preparation effort that will be required. Finally, define the goal. I should have put define the goal first. Okay. But these are the three elements that make great data visualization. This one is important. Okay. You want to make it look good, but how much effort is it going to take? Be honest with yourself. Okay. So I have another data visualization here about different best in show, different dogs that are best in show. Okay, so just to show something different. I love dogs, but I can't give you any details about dogs except that they eat a lot. But this one will give you a better, this is a data visualization based on dog data. So to finish up this presentation, the benefits of Data visualizations include the following: the ability to absorb information quickly, improve insights, and make faster decisions. An increasing understanding of the next steps that must be taken to improve the organization. An improved ability to maintain the audience's interest with information they can understand. An easy distribution of information that increases the opportunity to share insights with everyone involved. Eliminate the need for data scientists, since data is more accessible and understandable. And finally, an increased ability to act on findings quickly and therefore achieve success with greater speed and less mistakes. So that's the purpose then. Those are the ultimate benefits of data visualization. Okay, those are the goals. And the purpose of this lecture was to help you understand what clarity in data visualization, what it entails. Okay, so that concludes this presentation. Let me stop recording.